Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, last session we discussed about the ng for directive and all its attributes. What are the properties of ng for and how to use them? Means index, even, odd, like options. I asked you to try one task. Anybody done? No. Then how? If you don't practice and don't do the tasks, then how you will manage your interviews and all? Practically you have to do and show. These days it is compulsory for every developer to have knowledge of Angular, React like technologies, mandatory in all projects, and practically you are tested also. So you need to practice all such tasks, then how you will manage? Because more complicated tasks are given in interviews. You must able to do that. Anybody done that? Today I will enable the comment. You can submit your task in classroom. I will enable the classroom where you can upload your example what you designed, so that others can see if anybody done. Okay. I asked you to design shopping cart, deleting, updating cost, right? If you can do that, that's very good. I can give further some more tasks to you. Okay, right? So if anybody done, you can submit that into classroom, right? Now in Angular, we learned about structural directive. Structural directives, we have ng if, another one is ng switch, another one is ng for. These are structural directives. Next important, in the directives, we have attribute directives. We call attribute directives. Attribute directives. We have structural and we have attribute directives. Attribute directives, we have two types. Already we learned one attribute directive. If you remembered, we learned ng model, right? That comes under category of attribute directive. It is an attribute directive. What is the purpose of this ng model? It makes the static HTML element into dynamic. What happens if a static element becomes dynamic? Then Angular can handle its interactions, its values, its other interactions Angular can manage. So converting a static element into dynamic, that is done by ng model, so that it allocates memory for it and it can store the values of it. So then you can access the values and use. So ng model is an attribute directive. It is an attribute directive. So what is the purpose of this ng model is, we have so many. We have ng model, we have ng class, we have ng style. This comes under attribute directives. We will see what they are. ng model already we learned. Actually ng model, it is a member of which module? It is a member of form module. It is a member of form module defined in Angular forms library. Already we learned now. You cannot use directly ng model. In order to use ng model, first you have to import a module called forms module. In the forms module, this ng model is present. Where that forms module is present, it is present in Angular forms. What is purpose of ng model is ng model so makes a static HTML element into dynamic element. So it better say transforms. ng model transforms a static HTML element into dynamic. What is advantage of transforming into dynamic? So Angular allocates memory for element. Angular allocates memory for element in order to store its value and use across requests. To store the value and use it across requests, it will allocate memory for that element. Memory is not allocated for that element until it is not defined with ng model. ng model. So we done in two ways na. One is MVC approach, another one MVVM. That means syntactically how to write. We have some text box. We can write like this: ng model. We can use name as username. Hash username is equal to ng model. That is one technique. What is another technique? Input type is equal to text. We can use ng model is equal to, what is it? User name. This is MVC approach. In MVVM approach, in MVC approach, we have used this concept. So ng model, no need to give any example, already we learned. We used this in our data binding concept, right? Next important, another is ng class. ng class is a attribute directive. What is ng class is actually it is used to configure a CSS class to any element dynamically. It is used to configure a CSS class to any element dynamically. Why we have to configure a CSS class dynamically? Because according to situation, an element appearance should change. Element will not have a standard appearance. Appearance will be changing according to the situation. According to the situation, element appearance will be changing. That is very important also. That means you have a class attribute, but class attribute will apply a class. That class will have some standard effects, but I want the effects to change according to situation. For example, I want some text box to verify the value entered in text box, and if value is correct, it should be in green color. If value is wrong, it should be in red color. That means how a text box can change its color to green and red. If you want a standard color, you can apply. But how do we change dynamically? Actually, in JavaScript, we have to use lengthy logic. In JavaScript, jQuery, we do it, but we need a lengthy logic for that. But here, simply you can manage by using ng class directive. It is used to configure a CSS class to any element dynamically. How? We will see. Actually, CSS classes are defined in three ways. CSS classes are defined in three ways for this ng class. We have a string reference, we have array reference, and we have object reference. We have three references: string reference, array reference, object reference. What is difference is string reference will allow to apply one class at a time. You can apply one class by using string reference. Array reference allows to apply multiple classes, and object reference allows to turn on and off the classes. I will show you all three examples, then you will understand. Let's see. Let's take one example. For that, I will create one component now. Ng generate component class demo. Class demo is the component. Skip test. So class demo, I am creating a component and keep it in startup. I will keep class demo in the startup. Let's keep this in index.html class demo. Okay. I am using class demo. And here we have localhost. Class demo works. Now I will write some CSS classes. So in class demo component CSS file, we will write some classes. First, I will show you all reference styles. Then we will implement in examples. Let's see some reference styles. First, I am writing some back style. It is a class. Classes are written with dot. So that is class selector. Now here, background color, some yellow. I am defining text style. Text style color is some red. And text align as center. We have border style. And we have border as 1 pixel solid red color. Some 2 pixel. Okay. Now these are the classes. I will go to the design. And here I will keep a div class container fluid. And we will keep a heading. So class selector. So directive. Okay. Now we will run this here. I want to apply effects to this. Then we can use here a directive ng class. In that, three reference styles are there. One is string reference. String reference means you can write like this in single quote. You have to mention class name. Suppose I am using back style, that is the class name. Automatically that class will apply. That is string reference. It allows to apply one class. Actually, you may ask, like, we can give this directly by using class attribute. Why to use this ng class? That you will see now, because ng class allows to change the class name according to situation. That I will apply. We will see one example for that. So initially, this is what reference? String. Generally, when to use string reference? So string reference is, so it is used to apply any specific class to element. It is used to apply any specific class to element. How do we do that? Simply, I will keep some heading and we have to use ng class is equal to, in the double quotes, we have to use single quote. Here we have to define class name. Whatever class name is there, we need to apply. This is what reference? String. That is string reference. We can have array reference. Array reference means in array reference, it is used to apply multiple classes to element. You can apply multiple classes to element by using array reference. That means now how do we apply here is, for heading 2 some ng class, we will apply an array reference like this. This is array reference. In this, what we do, like a string, we will apply class 1, comma, we will apply class 2. Like this, you can apply multiple classes. That is array reference. That means now all classes are applied. If you want to apply only one class, then use string reference. If you want to apply multiple classes, then you use array reference. Another point is object reference. Object reference, it is used to turn on or off the class dynamically. Dynamically, it will turn on and off the classes. That means you write like this. Heading 2, here we have ng class, and here we will use an object reference. Object reference means a curly brace. Here we have to apply class 1, colon. Do you want it or not? True or false? It uses a Boolean value. Comma, class 2. So you can put false. That means one class on, another class off. You can switch between classes. You can turn on and off multiple classes. That you can do by using object select. So you have 3 ways of writing the classes: string reference, array reference, object reference. Let's try all the 3 here first. You see, string reference is working. Okay. I will do one more here. I will put another heading. So class, here I will give, for your example, I say string reference. Okay. String reference is working. Next, here we have array reference. You see, this is array reference. Yeah, this is array reference. Here I want to apply multiple, then ng class. We have to use an array reference. In that first class name, back style, you can see the back style is applied here. Okay, comma, another class, text style. You can see text style also applied. You can see another one, that is border style. Border style is also applied. That is array reference. Through array reference, you can apply multiple classes. Through string reference, you can apply single class. Okay. Let's see another one, object reference. Object reference, here I will write ng class and object style. In that, you have to mention class name. Class name, I will give back style. Okay. Colon, what is its status? On or off? On is true, off is false. That means back style is true. Okay, what is second one? Text style. Text style, colon, we will put false. Okay. What is another one? So border style. Border style what? Border style true. That means currently what are true? So currently text style is true, back style is true, and border style is true. That means only 2 styles will apply. border style is applying, text style is applying. If you want, you can make it this true, then automatically text style also will apply. Suppose I want to remove background, then back style I will set it to false. Currently I'm applying directly true or false. Now we will see how it will change according to situation. First I showed you reference styles. If I want to switch between classes on and off, then what is the reference style we have to use? Object. If I want to apply multiple classes, then what is the reference style we have to use? Array. If you want only one, then what is the style you have to use? String style. Let's see some examples now. First, I will keep this syntax example. So class demo dot component dot css. You don't need to do anything in TS file. In CSS, these are added, and class demo dot component dot ts. HTML. In HTML, I am applying them. I'm just copying this basic example. Now we will see in real time how they work. Let's see. See now. Later we will learn validations and all, but as of now, observe a concept here. I'm using a data list. I will keep here a heading login and a data term, so user name, and data definition, so we have input type text. Now another data definition here, later we will put some content. So here the point is, when user enters the name, we have to verify some validation like minimum 4 characters, 10 characters, something. Or for example, username is mandatory. Without entering the username, you cannot go. Then generally in HTML, you have an attribute called required. I hope you know. Required attribute indicates that it is mandatory. That means it is compulsory that there must be some value inside this text box. There must be some value inside text box. So what we will do now is, if required is not satisfied, it should show in red color. If required is satisfied, then it should show in green color. That means the appearance of this text box should change. The appearance of the text box should change. So according to the validation. Later we will have separate session on validations. There you will learn complete form design. As of now, to understand class binding, one small point I am showing here. So how do we handle that? How do we handle this? See, I'm using a simple concept for that. Actually, first we need to collect the value entered in that text box. For that, I will make it dynamic. ng model, name is username, hash username is equal to ng model. Now it becomes dynamic. It becomes dynamic. Okay. Now I will apply two classes here. I will write here invalid style. In invalid style, I will use border as a 1 pixel solid red color. I will put box shadow 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 2 pixel, so red color. That is invalid style. I will write another class which is valid style. In that the color will be green. The color will be green. That means now we have two classes. Now if text box is invalid, one class should apply. If text box is valid, another class should apply. That means we need to turn off one class, turn on another class, depending on whether the text box is valid or not. So we will go to the design. Here to this text box, we need to apply effects. Those effects should change dynamically. Then we will use ng class. ng class. We need to turn on a class, turn off a class. Then we have to use which reference? Object reference. What is the class? So one class is valid style. When to turn on this class? When username is valid. Understood? Then the valid true or false comes from username dot valid. Username dot valid. Username is model name na. This model name we used value na. Value for it returns what is value in text box. Valid it will return is validation valid or not. Which validation currently we are using? Required. See which validation you are currently using. There is a validation called required. If required is satisfying, then it will apply valid style. That means it will return true. This valid, invalid are going to return true and false. So it is true. Okay, comma. What is another one? Invalid style. When to apply invalid style? If username is what? Invalid. If username is invalid, apply invalid style. If username is valid, apply valid style. Now you can see when I open this, by default it is red color. Because required need to be satisfied. Required means value is compulsory. Okay, let's click inside and type some value inside. I am typing some value, it changes to green color. I am not typing anything inside, then automatically it changes to red color. That means element is now changing its appearance. Earlier, you generally write a class and always it will use that class. But now the class will be changing according to situation. On valid, one style. On invalid, another style. This is dynamically changing the appearance. Dynamically changing the appearance. This is just a sample. So here we used a simple validation. Currently we are using required. Later in validations, you will learn min length, max length, password, at least one uppercase letter. Like that we can write logics. But this is important, how we can configure. I will show one more thing, like suppose I will show one more option. Means some examples we will try. This is one point. That means we are applying valid style and we are applying invalid style. So let's do one more here. I will copy this example, another example. So validation, this is validation styles. So here class demo dot component dot CSS. In CSS, two classes we designed. One valid style class, another invalid style class. Then class demo dot component dot HTML. In that HTML, we designed a simple text box which is showing some effect. Right. Now we will see another point, how we can apply multiple according to situation. Multiple. That means, for example, see here, how we can apply multiple. Let's see. Suppose I am creating here a field set with a legend says apply styles. Apply styles. Okay. That is apply styles. Fine. In this, I am creating a data list in data term. I given here some effects. I am giving here simple text box. Input type is equal to text. Okay. And class as form control. There is some text box here. Apply styles, some text box is there. Now here I will keep a heading. So it is having a class text center, and this is sample text. This is sample text. Now what I want here is, I want user to type what effects he wants. I want user to type what effects he wants. Those effects should apply on this text. While typing, those effects must apply on that particular text, on the text. Let's see. Currently, whatever user types in this, those effects need to be applied here. Applied here. So we will write here. So class text style. In text style, I am giving text align center. Okay, color as red. That is text style. I am giving border style. In border style, border as 2 pixel solid red color. I am using back style. In back style, I am giving background color as yellow. Now, in this text box, here I will remove this class now. Now, in this text box, whatever they type, we need to collect. Then we will use ng model, and here I will define name as effects. Okay. Hash effects is equal to, what is it? Ng model. Whatever value entered in these effects, we will apply them as classes here. I will use ng class, and I am using effects. Effects dot value. Value is what value they entered in text box. And observe carefully. This time it is not Boolean true false. It is string type. And it is string array. You know, text box is treated as a string array. In a text box, whatever you type, it is returned as string array. That means now you can apply multiple classes. Here I will give placeholder, and I will put an example, text style. So border style, back style, like this I give. You can see that is given there. That means apply the styles. You can type what styles you want. Okay, let me type as back style. Back hyphen, what is it? Style. It will apply. I will put a space because it is a string array. Now I will put a space. I will say text style. It will apply. I will write border style. Then it is going to apply. This is a string reference. You can access and you can apply those effects. You can apply the effects. This is dynamic. Later, this is very important. I will show you some logics also. Why it is very important? For example, you are typing username. It says username is already taken. Please try another. It shows red color. If username is available, it says username is available and in green color. Not only changing message, changing color also important. We cannot put same color for error and valid. You have to change appearance. While typing itself, it should change. Then we have to apply these kind of techniques. We'll see example, but this is one basic. Here, what you are typing, those styles will be applied. I removed, border is removed, right? So dynamically, we are changing the appearance of an element. This is another example. Here I am not using true false. Here I am not using true false. Here I am using what? Here I am using only string reference. In that string reference, whatever entered in text box, collect the value. This is string type na. It is a simple string type, and collect and apply. But whatever you entered in text box, it is treated as a string array. And due to that, it can apply those effects, right? Now, I will give you this also as an example. This is a string array reference. String array reference, so same class demo dot component dot css. I applied these classes. Okay, and I defined here class demo dot component dot html. The design is this. Okay, I want design in another way. Design in another way is nothing but I want here user to select drop downs, check boxes and all. Which styles he want, user must able to select. Let's try this point here. I want another style actually. Suppose here I want an unordered list item. I'm using a checkbox. Input type is equal to checkbox. And this is so background effect. So, and another I'm giving text effects. Text effect. Another I'm giving border effect. I'm giving border effect. Now see here, these effects need to apply to this when user is selecting. Understood? That means I will remove class list unstyled. That means it will remove that numbers. Now, when user select this, that effect should apply. When user selects background, that should apply. When user removes, it should remove. That means now dynamically we need to change using these checkboxes. Then how? We need to turn on and off the class. If we have to turn on and off the class, then what is the style we have to define? Object style. But we have to collect from these checkboxes. So this checkbox needs ng model. This checkbox needs a name. The name is, this is back style. Okay. And so here we will use hash back style is equal to ng model. This back style collects true or false as value. If they selected background, then back style will be true. It will be true. Similarly, all ng model. So name is text style. Hash text style is equal to ng model. Again, ng model name is equal to border style and hash border style. Border style is equal to ng model. Now, here we need to apply ng class in an object style. Now, first one is back style. True or false. That comes from back style dot value. That means the first checkbox value. First checkbox value is generally checkbox value means it will return true or false. If it is checked, back style is true. If it is unchecked, back style is false. So another one, what is it? Text style. It should come from which one? Text style dot value. Another one, border style. It should come from where? Border style. Border style dot value. Now you can see here, I selected border effect, it will apply. I selected background effect, it will apply. I selected text effect, it will apply. I am removing background effect. I am removing border effect. You can choose what you want and that will be applied there. This is dynamic. That means we are changing the appearance dynamically. Sometimes we need to use in a string format. Sometimes we need to use in an object. Generally, when to use as object? When you want to turn on and turn off. Then you have to use an object style. So this is very regular in websites. I will show you. So one more point. This is another example. Let's see another example. This is example with what? Checkbox. So class demo dot component dot css, same css this one. In HTML, class demo dot component dot HTML, we used this one. We used checkboxes here. Through checkboxes, we are applying the values. We are applying the value. Okay, good. Now let's see another here. Means I am showing all consequences in various situations how they use, right? Let's do another design. Here, I am creating a div. So this is class dflex, justify content center, align items center, and style height is equal to some 500 pixel. In this, I am designing a data list, and here I am creating a data term username. Data definition input type is text, and another data term password, and data definition input type is equal to password. And yeah, and we have a button. So this button is some login. Actually, for this we have class form control. Here also we have a class form control, and this all is present in another div. Okay, we have class btn dark w100. Actually, the output looks like this. This is a simple header. Here I will give, so user login. Okay, user login is here, and here I am adding, in this I am adding a div. Input type is equal to checkbox. So dark mode, like this I am giving. There is a checkbox dark mode, input type. Checkbox, this is dark mode. And what I will do is, for this I will apply a class form check input. This is bootstrap class. Okay, and I will keep class as form switch. Then automatically it will turn like a switch. Now the concept is simple. When I say dark mode, I turn on this dark mode. This entire form should turn to black. Dark mode. I want to reverse the colors. I need to reverse the colors. That means this div is having a class form, and this is having border 3, padding 2. Yeah, we have this one. Now, so border dark, okay. It will be like this now. Now what should happen in this is when user turn on this switch box, automatically it should change complete color to black. So when user turn off, it should be normal. Then how do we apply? How do we define? So I will go to CSS. Here I am giving a class called dark mode. In this class, background color I will put black. Color I will put as white. Padding I will put as some 10 pixel. Like this we have. This is dark mode. In dark mode, background color black, color is white, and all these we are defining. Now, when to apply this dark mode, we need to apply to this entire form. Understood? Entire form, the dark mode must be applied. So to this div, I need to apply a class dynamically, ng class. We need to turn on and off the class. Then we have to use an object. And the value comes from this checkbox. Checkbox. Then I will use name as theme. And I will use ng model. Hash theme is equal to ng model. Now here we have to define what is the class name, dark hyphen mode, from where the value comes from theme dot value. Theme dot value is checkbox value. Now see what happens here. I turn on dark mode, it will be in this way. I remove that and again it will be normal. That means I turn on this, then it will change the effects. Then we can turn on and turn off. So this is dynamic, and you see this everywhere. This is very common. Everywhere you will find this. That means we have to change the effects dynamically. It cannot have same appearance every time. We can do a lot of things. Suppose I turn on the dark mode, then this button also should change reverse. You can change reverse. Actually, for that, see, here we are applying a class btn dark. btn dark. We are applying the class btn dark. Here we can apply ng class for button. Actually, here we have an option like btn dark. btn dark is the option. There is another option, btn light. Understood? That is the class. It is a ready-made bootstrap class. We don't need to write, already that class is present. At this class needs a Boolean value when it should be in light color. When dark mode is on, that means we have to get the value from what? Theme dot value. From theme dot value we need to get. That means when I turn on it, then it will change, that light color will come. It is light, so btn light. We can use options like btn light. There are multiple options. You can see the effects. We can turn on and we can put the effects depending on how you want to apply, right? So these kind of things we can configure dynamically. That means we can apply dynamically. So we can apply anywhere. We will see in various other examples how to apply to multiple elements also we will see. So here we are using a simple technique. That means on, it will be one, off, it will be another. I'm just applying background. You can apply so many things. We can change images. We can put colors. Sometimes doubt comes, can I change the complete body color? Of course, you can, where you apply, it will work there. Currently, we are applying only to form box, right? If I apply to the entire body container, then it will work to body. That means I am applying only here now. I am applying the theme to this location. If I am applying the theme to this location here, NG class, I am applying. That means I am applying at the body level. It will change the complete body level. Where you apply that, there it will be there. Right? Where we apply, there it will get that. So you can change. So I don't want entire background. I want only for this div. So only for this div. Then I can apply there. Only for that div it will work. So this is how we can change the styles, classes. So dynamically changing appearance of an element is very important. So for that we need to use ng class, right? This is another example. Let's make another example. This is another example theme, right? Class demo dot component dot css. In this, what we done, we just used this dark mode. We are just applying the dark mode, and the class demo dot component dot html, and here I am writing this one. This is designing the complete scenario. We are applying the theme color and defining. We can use lot of images, backgrounds and all in next level examples we will see, right? But this is one option, how we can apply the classes dynamically. Let's do some program concept and see. That means how we can change programmatically, how we can change. Some example we'll see, because here nothing logic we use. We just used Boolean true or false. Logically, so many things will happen. Let's try that. Logically, how we can handle. Right? Let's see. I will take one example here. Let's take a new screen here. And I will put a heading as register user. And we have a data list, data term, user name. A data definition, input type is equal to text. And here we need the username. Okay. So class as form control. And this data list I will keep class W25. This is a simple form. Here we have username. Now when user is typing the username, I need to verify whether that username is already available, taken or available. We need to verify, right? Let's do one thing. Let's go to the TS file now. In the TS file, I am adding some data. Public user details. User details is an, or say users. Users is an array. So it is an any type array. In that array, we keep some data. So we are keeping some data in this. I will say username. Username is John. Okay. Another username. Username is John12. Okay. Another username is some John underscore NIT. And another username, some David. Like this, I given some users. Now, what should happen is I need to collect another username. It is a string type and it is initially empty. It is empty. Whatever username entered in text box, we need to collect So then here I am using two-way binding technique. By using ng model, we will bind to user name. That means this username. So this username we are binding. Whatever entered in text box, it will come here. It will be stored in that username. Now we will write a condition. So that means we will write a simple logic here. We'll put a data definition here. Here we will put a simple logic, that is we are writing an event, that is key up. Key up means verify for every character. After every character, verify. Key up is an JavaScript event which indicates what action to perform after you finish every key. When the key is released, right? On key up, I will say verify user. This function should fire up. Then we will write that method here. What is that? Public verify user. This will fire up. Now what we have to do is, when user, I want to display one more here. MSG. MSG is a string type. It is also empty. Now we have to read every user's detail and verify whether the username you entered is among these users or not. Whatever username entered in text box, we need to verify whether it is present among these list or not. Then obviously we need a for loop here. For where user of this dot users, that is collection. We are reading every user. If user dot username is matching with this dot username that you entered in text box, that means the username you entered in text box is matching with the username available in users collection. If it is matching, then what should happen? This dot MSG, we should display username taken and try another. And we will break, because it is a loop, it should stop. And else what should happen? Else what should happen? This dot MSG, it should display username available. This message should come. This message should display. And where to display this MSG? I want to display inside this data definition. Here we will use MSG. Now what happens is, whenever you click inside and type username, it says username available. I entered John, then it says taken, try another. John 1 is available. John 1, 2 is taken, try another. Currently, I am using some hard-coded data. Later, we will pull this data from database. That's only the simple change we do in future. Our logic will be same, design will be same. Only the point is data will be coming from API. That's it. Right? Now the point here, so it is taken 1, 2, 3, it is available. Now, if username is available, this message must be green color. If username taken, then that should be in red color. Now you are changing the message, that is okay. Now how you will change the color? You need to apply red and green color for that message. That is regular requirement. That is where we need to use dynamic classes. Dynamic classes. Actually, we can apply a class called text success. Then you see, text success means always it is green color. Always it is green color. John, it is taken, but it is green color only. Right? But when it is taken, then it should be turned to red color. There is another class called text danger. This text danger class will apply red color. If available, it should be green, but it is applying same for all of them. So we need to change this class dynamically. We need to change the class dynamically. So what we have to do now? So we will write another property. We will define another property. Here we will put a property is name valid. It is a Boolean type and we will set some false. Is name valid is false. Is name valid is false. Boolean. Remember, whenever you are using Booleans, then it is tradition that we use the prefix is before that variable name or property name. If you see in any software programming, is used for any reference, that means it's a Boolean type. That is a standard tradition. We follow that tradition, right? So now what should happen? If username is available, then what should happen? This dot is name valid must be true, na? Am I right? It should be true. Already it is what? False. It should be true. When it should be false? When username is taken, this dot, what is it? Is username valid? Is what? False. We are changing the Boolean true or false. This Boolean we will apply here. We will apply here. Suppose I am writing here, I am using only one valid, like, right? ng class. To turn on and off the class, we need object style. Which one? Text danger. Text danger. When it should display, it should get the value. From where it should get the value? Is user valid. That contains true or false, na? What is it? Is name valid, na? Right. Here we need to get is name valid. From there it will get the Boolean. That means now see what happens. I am typing here. Then it says, then it is another color. We need to reverse this, right? We need to reverse that concept. That means what should happen? So this text, which color should be applied? Success. That means you see now, I am typing something here. John, it says username available. Once it is there, so it should taken. Then what I will do is, I will apply another class. This is what? Text danger. That is ordinary class. So here I am applying John. You see the standard class is applied everywhere. Now I need to change. You cannot apply a standard class. You need to change the classes. Tell me how to do that. You need two values, na? You need two values. So here we need to put the option. Two Booleans we need. One Boolean for success, another Boolean for danger. Success and danger, two Booleans we need. So let's create those Booleans and try here. That means we need to switch between. One class is working fine, but we need two classes, na? We need to apply two classes. That means what we will do is, so public, so is success. So it is what type? Boolean. By default, I am giving false. Okay. Another one is error. This is also Boolean. By default, it is false. Right. Now we need to switch this logic, right? What we have to do? If username is available, this dot is success is equal to true. And this dot is error. It should be false. So we need to switch between the classes. Now, if it is taken, what should happen? This dot is success must be what? false, and this dot is error must be false, true. We need to do that. Now these classes we need to apply here. When success, we have to apply is what? Success, comma. Another one is text danger. When it should apply is error. Is error, then it should apply. We have two classes. That means now I am typing here, then it says green color. Username available. If username is taken, it is red color. It should change dynamically. This is the logic we need to implement. You may ask, like, is this much lengthy logic is required? There is other shortcuts that you will learn in validation. Right? In validation, you will learn simple shortcuts. This is just to make you understand how you can handle dynamically through logics. Right? This is not the real way we do, because we have, for validations, we have very shortcut services. Ready-made Angular services are there. By using those Angular services, validations becomes very, very simple. Effects also for validation becomes very simple. You don't need to write much logic. This is just to make you understand dynamically how to change. Right? That means it is valid, then green color. If it is invalid, that is red color. Dynamically, it should be changing. That is why we need class ng class. Right? This is an example of another example. That means dynamic classes for user validation. For user validation. Same, I am using class demo.component.ts. Here we written some logic now. We have some data. We are verifying the data when user is typing. And if username is matching, we will say taken. And we will apply some effects. If it is not, then we will display another. Right? This is the TS code. And we have class demo.component.html. And this is the HTML logic. This is generally class directive. And actually this entire concept people call as class binding. Class binding. In Angular, you have data binding and you have class binding. Class binding is nothing but it is a technique of applying CSS classes dynamically to your elements so that you can change the appearance dynamically. I given wide range of examples, different examples I given here, right? But sometimes we don't apply effects using classes, because if you are applying classes, then you have to write embedded or external. You know that styles are written inline also. If I want effects only for one element and I don't want to reuse, then generally what we do, we write the styles inline. Generally, how inline styles are written? Inline styles are written by using style attribute. That means you can apply class or you can use style. Now, if you want inline styles dynamically, then you can use a directive called ng-style. ng-style. If you know class, this is simple. ng-style is nothing but it configures inline styles dynamically for any element. You already learned CSS. You know styles are three ways: inline styles, embedded styles, and external style sheets. So inline styles, you can apply style directly to an element without any classes or anything. You can configure inline style dynamically. How to write is syntax. We can define a container. We can use ng-style. Actually, it uses an object. In this object, it will contain attribute and colon value. It contain attribute and colon value. Like this we define. That means ng style always have an object. It uses an object. If you want, you can apply any style inline. Instead of using classes, you can apply through ng style also. Let's see here. For example, in my computer here, yeah, let's go to this assets location here. I'm having some D drive. Yeah, in my computer, I have some image. This is images. Suppose there is a flag image. I will copy. I will keep in our Angular projects, shopping, SRC, assets. In assets, I will paste a flag. It is a GIF file. Let's do this now, right? Now what we will do here is we will use that file here. So let's use the file here. I will go to the design. In the design, I am creating a div. For this, I am applying style and height as some 1000 pixels. 1000 pixels height. Below that, I will keep an image. Image source is assets. In that flag.gif, and it is having width 50, height 50. Like this I am giving. Now see what happens here is actually you can observe. I will put one message also here. Move mouse pointer to test. Okay. I given some content here. Move mouse pointer to test. Right? Okay. So class say deflex, flex, justify content center, align items center, items center. Like this I define. Actually this is enough. Okay. And height as some pixels, some 500 pixel. Like this I define some option. You see, this is how it is having. There is an image and there is an option mouse pointer, move mouse pointer to test. So now what I will do here, I will write a simple object now. Let's clean up this. Verify user is not required. Yeah. And these properties also not required. This is all the previous example. Yeah. Now see what I am doing. I am creating a simple style object, which is any type of object. In that there are some properties like position. Position I given fixed. There is a property called position fixed. And I am giving some, here I am giving some, another one is, this is top. Top is some empty. Fine. I am giving left. Left is also empty. Some string. Now what happens is, we will write a method called public mouse move is a method, void, right? Mouse move is a method. Now what should happen is, this method should fire up when user is moving the mouse. Where moving the mouse? In this container. That means in this container we will write, so an event on mouse move, on mouse move. On mouse move, that means here we have to use just mouse move, okay? Mouse move. Mouse move, we will call this function, mouse move function. we will use mouse move function here. Now, when user is moving the mouse, I need to collect the x-axis, y-axis position of mouse pointer. Where is mouse pointer? It's x position, y position I need to collect. That means actually in JavaScript, every event have an event argument. You know, two event arguments will be there, this and event. In JavaScript, every event have two event arguments. One is this, another one event. In Angular, you will have an event argument called $event. We will have a $event as event argument. This will send information about current event. Current event related information is sent by using $event. We have to collect that event here. E, it is any type. Now we can collect that event here. Now what I will do temporarily, I will show you console.log e.client x. It will get x-axis position. So, and I will use just client x. I will show you. Observe carefully in inspect. You open the console. In the console, when I am moving, you can see it is some point values are coming. So some values are coming. Actually, here some values are displayed. That means actually client X, actually C, client X, yeah. You can see the x-axis position is coming. Number is coming now. That is x-axis position of mouse. You can collect the x-axis position of mouse. Okay. Same, you can collect y-axis position also of mouse. Now what I will do here is simple. Whenever user is moving this dot style object into that first position, we have a property called position. Position is what? Fixed. And we have left. Left is coming from e dot client x plus pixels. That means the mouse x-axis position is applied as left position. Okay. And top position is e dot client y plus pixels. That means y-axis position is applied to top. Generally, this style object is now containing some effects which are changing when mouse is moving. This style object I will apply to this image. To this image I will apply ng style is equal to style object. That means we will use that style object lowercase s. We will apply that style object here. Now what happens is when I move the mouse, it will be moving along with the mouse. That means we are changing the position of image along with the mouse. That means we are accessing the mouse position and we are applying to image. So in CSS, position fixed means it will remove from that position and fix to at one place. Left, mouse left position will be used as image left position. Top, mouse Y position will be used as image top position. And when you are moving the mouse, then image also changing its position. That means you are picking up the mouse position and applying to image. Then obviously image will be along with the mouse. Then when you are moving, it is applying that. It is applying. So we are changing the style dynamically. We are configuring the style dynamically. First we created a style object. Its position is fixed. It has top left position unknown. When user is moving the mouse, we will get the mouse position by using event argument. How to collect the event arguments? By using $event. In JavaScript, we do that by using just event. Here we have to use dollar event. We have to use dollar event. In JavaScript, it is just event. In Angular, we have to use dollar event. And we can pass the mouse positions. We can collect that X position and apply to left, Y position and apply to top. Then automatically this style object is applied to image. That means image position is updated whenever you are moving the mouse. Understood? Whenever you are moving the mouse, it will get the mouse position and update to image. Here we are not using a class. We are using a style. No class. We are using a style. So because here only to image element it should work. It is not used anywhere else. These are inline styles. We have to apply inline styles dynamically. We have to apply the classes dynamically. So this is an example for that. This is an example. Same class demo file only, component.ts, and this is the TS code, and we have class demo.component.html. This is the HTML code. And here extra we used an event called mouse move. Right? So on mouse move, it will get the position and it will apply to the image. That is simple basic thing. So this is also called as, we call this also as, this is also known as style binding. Class binding, style binding, data binding. So how do we define the classes and all, right? So dynamically how we can apply the classes, right? This is some important you need to know about appearance. How we can change the appearance, right? Now we will learn about events detailedly. How to handle different events, on click, on change, on blur, like different events, right? How to work with the events and design some examples with that. That we'll see in next session tomorrow. Right, in tomorrow's session, we will see some other directive related points and some other options, right? Tomorrow will continue. You need to practice all of this. We have class and we have style and we have data. 3 types of binding techniques you have learned, right? Class binding means applying the classes dynamically. Style binding means applying the styles dynamically. And data binding means interacting with the elements, accessing the data, updating in the UI. One-way binding, two-way binding and all. And in tomorrow, we will see event binding concepts, how they work, right? Tomorrow will continue.